start actually on position 7 instead of position 6, kind of reverse it with our challenger, Mr. Velasquez. Would you come and give closing remarks to our group tonight? We really appreciate that.
So I'm asking for your vote because, I'm a Christian, I'm a veteran, I'm a parent first and foremost, and I want to do everything I can to ensure that our kids are coming home to us safely. I want to make sure that they're educated and that the schools are preparing them for life, just like we as parents have to prepare them for life. And I promise, like I said, I can promise you one thing: if I was to get on the board, I will do everything I can to make sure that the things are implemented to ensure that the security and welfare of our children is taken care of.
Alice, closing remarks.
2 minutes and 30 seconds.
Sorry, 2.5.
Well, great. I would say that one of the things is we want to keep building on some positive momentum that's going through the district. Paul Betancourt was recently, if you go to his website, he talks about being at Niche Elementary School, and I was there with the Texas Commissioner of Education. And according to Paul Betancourt, things are great. He said it multiple times. And I think that if you look at what Klein has done over the last COVID years, the amount of learning loss is so much less than everywhere else that surrounds us. And so people have gone, we have a 67% increase in A-rated school campuses. A Senate bill that was sponsored by Senator Betancourt. I think that if we look at things that are going well and then we build from that, we can achieve great things. I also wanted to say one thing to clear up a misconception. Ms. Cobb mentioned an equity audit. We have not called for an equity audit in Klein. If you would, at many of our board meetings, you'll see people coming at us and filing grievances because we have not filed an equity audit. Cy-Fair did. That's an equity audit, costs millions of dollars. That's what allows people to award contracts based on race and other things that we are not willing to do. We have refused to do an equity audit, and that is something that we are constantly being asked by the left to do. And we have grievances against us for doing it. We've refused that. As far as an equity statement, we have not. We have a commitment to every. Okay? Cy-Fair did a commitment to equity. If you look at what they did, they said there was systematic racism and systematic oppression. We did not say that. This was in the time of the what we said is that we are committed to every student by name, strength, and need. We got pushback from the left at the time because they thought that our every student, commitment to every, was like all lives matter. And they wanted us to come out and say there was systemic racism and systemic oppression. We refused to say that in Klein. We never say oppression once in that document. And that's significant what's not there. And the pushback we got on the left when we signed that, we said we are committed to every student. We said there's racism in the world, it exists, but that we are committed to every student to know them by name, strength, and need. And that's something that we are committed to for every student. We're not here to try and help a single race. That's not the American dream. I don't even think that's constitutional. Okay? But we are committed to every person. I wanted to make sure that was clear.
Well, equity, diversity, and inclusion was placed all throughout that training. And again, we have these documents outside so you can make an assessment of whether or not you think this stuff is happening in Klein, because it is. And it has been. And an equity audit, by the way, is what I was explaining to you. It goes on in the elementary schools where children are able to basically make a complaint on a teacher, and the teachers have been fired because of that, or have been pressured to, and that's a lot of pressure to work under. So it's not a full equity audit that you pay for. So I would also like to point out that, I think we all have been paying attention to these bond elections, and so some of the manipulative rhetoric that we just heard up here is one of the things that is so frustrating to us as parents, because let me tell you what's going on as far as the tax rate and how it's set. There is a no new revenue tax rate that the school board members can vote on, and that would mean our taxes aren't going up. But every year, Klein ISD school boards vote for the biggest tax rate that they can give to us allowed by law. So that is why our taxes are going up 6.38% on average. And that's because we did have a vote where taxes could have been, by the board members, made it so that we did not see an increase in taxes, but instead, they did choose to vote and do have the power to vote to increase our taxes. And so, this is why I'm telling you that I really think that we need some transparency on the board, because that's not being forthright. It's not speaking truthfully to our community, and it's something that we really need to make sure that we don't see continue in our school boards, because this is the lives of our children. I mean, these are our greatest treasures are our children. And that's why I'm running for school board. I have children of my own. I know how much we care about each of them. I have friends that have children in the district. And, I love Klein, and I want to see it do better. I want to see it be the best that it can be as a school. And I would just hope that you guys would consider voting for me for Klein ISD position number 6, because I really do want to get in there, dig up what I can, and make sure that I am a gatekeeper that is going to make sure that we don't see this stuff getting in. And again, I do implore you to go look at what we have. Just to say that there's no CRT in our school is just so, I'm just confused by why we would be saying that. I think we need to address these things and not pretend like they're not going on. And Paul Bettencourt, by the way, he endorsed my candidacy. And I have a lot of strong endorsements. If you want to check out my page, Mark Ramsey endorsed me. And I've just been busting my butt trying to help out our community this whole time, so I have a lot of endorsements of people that can show that they support me and think I'll do a great job there, and I hope that you can feel the same way after hearing from us tonight.
I'm probably going to have to do a little clarifying. I do have a little speech though too. When you look at the budget, and I'm going to be honest with you, that thing is very complicated. There's a lot of numbers, and you've got to understand it. When I was an administrator, when we used to write a check, we would write a check to go on travel. We would write the check, and we'd take it to Terrific of Texas. That's who we do business with. That doesn't happen anymore. This is going out, so I'm going to give it back to you.
I'm sorry.
But we didn't write that check.
Test.
We give
Stay
the
with
money.
me.
Oh, thank you. We would give the money to central office, and they write the check. So when you see numbers, if you are not educated with those numbers, they won't make any sense. We go to budget meetings. We have auditors, and we sit down and we study those budgets. And by the way, I didn't know about what is called the Sunshine Club, because the Sunshine Club is teachers in the area, in their school, giving money in a club so that we are able to provide when someone passes away. And that's the Sunshine Club that looks like the baby shower or whatever. But I didn't know about it until my sister died of brain cancer in 1993. Those things, if you don't know the inside, you won't know them. You have to ask. What I was going to talk about as my ending is that this is us. I'm a visual learner. Not everybody learns the same. But this is us. This is our tree. The roots is our heritage, and we are very proud of the roots and all that was given. And you can smirk and you can smile, but it's real. And Klein stands very tall.
It looks like a very real tree, yes.
It is a real tree.
Yes.
It's actually
A beautiful
primrose.
tree.
The bark of the tree is actually all your administrators, school board, all the people, the leadership groups. Your branches are your teachers. And all those leaves are all a little bit different, but those are your kids. You know, as a community, do you know who you are? You're the soil. You're the rain, the water, the sunshine. Those things are so important. You have to work together. You know, when you think about Klein, when you go into the boardroom, you look at the big tree that's sitting behind us. It's real, and we stand tall. So if you're going to vote for a conservative mom that cares about this district, then please remember me on the ballot.